For 4 weeks, a dedicated team of 6 divers embarks on a series of missions in the high seas to reclaim 2 World War II shipwrecks from deadly ghost nets. These abandoned nets transform once vibrant marine sanctuaries into hazardous traps. Our team, Mario, Pascal, Henning, Ben, Dirk, and Hens each bring unique skills and passion to this challenging mission. Far out at sea, aboard a small fishing boat, they convert every inch into living, sleeping and diving space. Sharing just 8 square meters, teamwork and resilience are tested daily.
Sometimes it's something different, fantastic. Sometimes it's something of much less interest. But it's very exciting, as you can imagine, to just start a descent, knowing that you are going to some special place and finding, and exploring. Beautiful construction that are lost since the moment of their sinking. Nobody has seen them anymore.
I would say one thing is we have the chance to clean wrecks which are almost unreachable otherwise, in this project being very far out of the sea, in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. Being out there and the sun, seeing the sun setting in the wake of the boat, that's just pure fantastic. I like the sea, I like to be at the sea, on the water, and there we just have it all the time. We're there looking around, enjoying that. Also sometimes waking up in the night, seeing the stars on top of you, like stars. There's no light pollution whatsoever. This is just pure fantastic.
We visited 2 wrecks, and what we found was, on the one hand, really an oasis of marine life. All you could expect on such wrecks. But on the other hand, it's fully covered with nets.
The challenges for this kind of operations is mostly because we are far remote on high seas. So that is one challenge, because you have to be very careful with everything you do on board. If something happens on board, you're out there by yourself. So you need to solve it with your team.
Well, life on board is actually being among friends. It's not a super luxury yacht with own chambers and warm and hot showers, but it feels like the friendships get stronger. You're sharing the same passion in diving, in history, in the environment, and well, it makes, I think the right term is, makes a brotherhood of this expedition actually, yes.
My belly.
Operation Deep Blue Legacy is an ambitious initiative that unites 4 organizations with a shared goal. Healthy Seas, a foundation with an extended marine conservation mission, partners with the skilled volunteers of ghost diving to recover ghost nets and improve marine environments. SDSS, the Society for the Documentation of Submerged Sites, focuses on the historical aspects of the mission, uncovering and preserving the stories of submerged wrecks. Supporting this endeavour is DWS, our sponsor, whose corporate social responsibility commitment underpins the operation's success. Together, these organisations weave a story of hope and restoration, each contributing their unique expertise to protect and celebrate our underwater heritage.
We are removing the nets in order to maintain a healthy marine environment, and Mario wants to identify wrecks. The nets are literally blocking his entrances to wrecks in order to identify them. So in fact, sometimes they really are blocked going into a cargo hold by several nets, and we are there to remove these nets. So it's a win-win from both sides. It's not only marine conservation, but it's also archaeology and historical research.
We are collaborating with Ghost Diving and Healthy Seas since a few years now, and every year is going better and better. We are one team, we are more than friends. The main drive is enjoying the dives on these beautiful, unique sites that are so fantastic to explore and to visit. That is a total privilege. What we do is unreal. But then the noble aspect of this activity is to bring history to the people, to get the people more knowledgeable and interested in their history.
History is not just a series of events, but a tapestry of stories waiting to be told. Beneath the waves lie shipwrecks that once played crucial roles in the Battle of Mediterranean convoys during World War II. These convoys and their escort ships were lifelines, supplying troops in the North African campaign. Each wreck carries the legacy of intense battles and lost lives, now silent witnesses to the past.
So the Battle of Mediterranean convoys has been an important battle during World War II. It was related to the North African campaign. The convoys, the supply ships, were a fundamental part of the logistic aspects of this war, because it was fought between Libya and Egypt, and then in the last part in Tunisia, and there was no industrial production of any sort, so everything had to be brought from Europe. And of course the counterpart was trying their best for intercepting these convoys at sea and destroying them at sea, so preventing the supplies to reach the front. And they've been pretty efficient in doing so, even if more than 90% of the supplies that were sent reached the destination, 10% ended on the bottom of the sea. And the 10% is a few hundred ships, many very intense stories, okay, and a lot of people that lost their lives.
The Lupo, a small but legendary torpedo ship, survived numerous battles, earning the nickname the Lucky Ship. It was awarded the Silver Medal for Military Valor, while its commander received the Gold Medal. After years of searching, the team from SDSS found it far from its historical coordinates, a scattered wreck covered in layers of ghost nets.
The Lupo was famous in the fleet, was considered the lucky ship in the fleet, because it had survived some very difficult action, like fighting against a much bigger force of enemy in a couple of occasions. And in December 1942, it was part of the escort to a convoy that was heading to Libya. The convoy was attacked by airplanes, and one of the ships of the convoy, the Veloce, got hit by a torpedo and went on fire. So the Lupo was detached from the convoy to assist the Veloce that was sinking, was on fire once. So the night came, and during the night a force of 4 destroyers started firing with all what they had to the Lupo, and the ship itself sank in 2-3 minutes. And now she's on the seafloor in 50 meters, more or less, and you can see that she's been beaten very hardly during the fighting. This is the photogrammetry of the wreck of the Lupo. It's like a picture of the wreck in the condition it is now on the bottom. It's actually the result of 11,000 pictures, and then elaborated on a specific software which creates this 3D model. It recognizes the common points between 2 pictures and create this big puzzle.
What Mario is doing is documenting the wreck by photogrammetry, and if it's covered with nets, you cannot see the wreck. So if we remove the nets and then after do the photogrammetry, then people who are not able to dive the Lupo can see how the wreck lies over there, and when time passes by, how the wreck evolves in time.
Most of these wrecks are a testimony of tragic events that happened and significant events, and they are really an important historical heritage. They will decline and get destroyed into a mountain of wreckage, but they should go in this direction in a natural way, decay naturally, so not in an accelerated way due to human impact of one kind or another. So.
Entangled in ghost nets, shipwrecks transform from protective artificial reefs into lethal traps. They ensnare marine life and destroy habitats, turning once vibrant ecosystems into graveyards. These nets, pulled with full force by fishing vessels attempting to free them, cause immense damage, accelerating the decay of the wrecks.
Shipwrecks in general function as artificial reefs. This is because shipwrecks offer structure where fishes can hide, and well, it's a living space, it's a habitat. The situation is that those shipwrecks are oases in biodiversity in the oceans. This knowledge is not a secret. I mean, fishermen knew that they fish there where the most fish is. On the other hand, a shipwreck is a structure where nets could easily get entangled, right? And this is why we found one shipwreck which is really full of nets with different layers of nets.
The impact of ghost nets on the environment is very much visible, especially in the area we work here. You can see it with the usual impact, like ghost nets affecting marine life, and then marine life can be entangled animals, but it can also be destroying of habitat, like corals, shipwrecks, that they cannot enter it anymore or even cannot get out anymore. Those nets, and especially the weight of the nets and the force of the nets pulled on the shipwrecks, are destroying the net of the shipwrecks even faster.
The Gulf of 𝐎𝐻𝐿, a biodiversity hotspot in the Mediterranean, thrives on abundant primary production. Primary production is the process where inorganic substances, such as carbon dioxide and minerals, are transformed to organic matter by marine organisms. This organic matter forms the foundation of the food chain, supporting the entire marine ecosystem, including zooplankton, small fish, and larger marine species.
This area here we're in, it's the Gulf of 𝐎𝐻𝐿, and this is supposed to be a biodiversity hotspot in the Mediterranean. In general, the Mediterranean Sea is not really rich in nutrition, but the shelf area of the Gulf of 𝐎𝐻𝐿, it's a really high, a lot of primary production is going on there. And in general, in the oceans, you have these nutrition hotspots, which are in upwelling areas. And there are certain ocean conditions that are responsible for this upwelling, that water masses come up from the deep to the surface. And the benthos, the floor of the ocean, is nutrition rich because, well, every remains of species, all organic matters is accumulating at the bottom, right? And if you have upwelling conditions, these nutrients come to the surface and their primary production is happening. There are these primary production hotspots. on these shelf areas, like the Gulf of Gabes, the biodiversity is really high, right? And at the same time, it's really vulnerable to changes to problems.
Like guardians of the deep, the team strives to leave a legacy of hope and restoration. Their efforts not only protect marine life and uncover historical treasures, but also raise awareness. They remind us of our responsibility to preserve our planet, inspiring others to contribute to this cause. In the end, it's about enjoying and exploring the world while ensuring its beauty and history endure for future generations.
My motivation for this project and these dives is to be a small part of helping the environment and helping people to be aware of what we found underwater, and hopefully that they can think about it to contribute themselves to be some more responsible for this planet actually.
Knowing a bit history makes me very optimistic, so I see that we go better and better. Simply, so the world has never been so peaceful, even if it's strange to say, as it is now, even if there are terrible things going on, but in the past it was much worse than this.
I'm very optimistic about the future because I see the young generation and I know they're so full of energy and full of brand new ideas. So we only have to stop polluting the environment and give the young generation a chance to actually rebuild it again for a better future for them.